Hi, how are you today? All right, today I am filming at a log cabin that is here in my town. And today I'm going to read a story to you. It's a little golden book. You can tell that this right here is called Little Golden Books. This is Bambi, Walt Disney's Bambi. And it is based on the original story by Felix Salten. You can tell this book I got at a thrift store. Should write in your books. All right, Bambi. Here's a picture. One spring morning in a little hidden forest glade, a fawn was born. A fawn is a baby deer. All the birds and animals came to see him, for he was a very special fawn. "What will you name the young prince?" asked Thumper the rabbit. "I will call him Bambi," the mother answered. Okay. The forest was filled with friends. The possums and squirrels and robins and wrens all said, "Hello, young prince," when Bambi walked down the leafy paths with his mother. And Thumper and Flower the skunk came out to play with Bambi nearly every day. One morning, Bambi's mother took him down a path where he had never been. At the end of the path was a wide green meadow. What a wonderful place the meadow was. There was so much room to run and jump. Bambi leaped into the air 3, 4, 5 times. When he stopped to catch his breath, another fawn came up to him. "Hello," she said softly. Bambi tried to hide behind his mother. "Don't be afraid, Bambi," she said. "This is Feline. Her mother is your Aunt Ina." Soon, Bambi and Feline were racing around the meadow together. Suddenly, they heard hoofbeats. A herd of stags came galloping across the meadow, led by the great prince of the forest. The great prince was older and bigger and stronger than the other stags, and he was very brave and wise. He just said one word: "Man." All the birds and animals followed him back into the woods. Bambi was at his side. They heard a frightening roaring noise behind them as they ran. Later, when Bambi and his mother were safely back in their thicket, his mother explained, "That was Man in the meadow, Bambi. He brings danger and death to the forest with his long stick that roars and spurts flame. Someday you will understand." The months passed and the days grew cool. Winter was coming. One morning, when Bambi woke up, everything was covered with white. "It's snow," his mother said. "Go ahead and walk on it." Bambi stepped out and saw Thumper sliding on the frozen pond. "Come on," Thumper called. "The water's stiff." Bambi trotted onto the ice. His front legs shot forward. His rear legs slipped back, and down he crashed. "That's okay," said Thumper, laughing. "We can play something else. Winter's fun." But winter was also a hard time for the forest animals. Food was scarce. Sometimes Bambi and his mother had nothing to eat but the bark on trees. One day, when it seemed there was no food left anywhere, Bambi's mother found a few pale blades of grass growing under the snow. They were nibbling the grass when they suddenly smelled man. As they lifted their heads, they heard a deafening roar. "Quick," said Bambi's mother, "run for the thicket." Bambi darted away. He heard his mother's hoofbeats behind him, then another roar from man's guns. Terrified, he ran faster. When Bambi reached the thicket, his mother was nowhere in sight. He sniffed for her scent. There was nothing. "Mother," he called, racing wildly out into the forest. "Mother, where are you?" The great prince of the forest appeared beside him. "Your mother can't be with you anymore," the prince said. "You must learn to walk alone." Bambi did not understand, but he knew he must listen to the great prince. In silence, he followed the old stag through the snowy forest. At last, spring arrived. The forest was turning green and leafy, and Bambi was growing into a handsome buck. One day, Bambi met a beautiful, graceful doe in the woods. So a buck is a boy deer, and a doe is a girl deer. Okay, just so you know. All right, a beautiful, graceful doe in the woods. "Hello," he said. "Who are you?" "Don't you remember me?" the doe asked. "I'm Feline." Gently, she licked Bambi's face. Isn't that silly? Suddenly, Rano, a buck with big antlers, pushed his way between them. He began to nudge Feline down the path. "Feline is coming with me," he said. No one asked her what she wanted. All right. Bambi charged forward and butted Rano with all his might. Again and again, he and Rano crashed into one another, forehead to forehead. When you hit somebody with it, it's called butting. When you hit someone with your forehead, it's called butting. Okay. A prong broke from one of Rano's antlers, and he lost his balance. He fell to the ground, hurting his shoulder. Yeah. Bambi was like, no. All right. Rano limped off by himself, and Bambi and Feline walked down the path together. That night, Bambi and Feline went out to the meadow and stood in the moonlight, listening to the east wind and the west wind calling to each other. One morning in autumn, Bambi sniffed the scent of man again. As he ran to warn Feline, he smelled something else, too. Smoke. The old prince came and said, "The forest has caught fire from the flames of man's campfires. We must go to the river." Bambi turned to Feline. "Run," he said, "run to the river." Feline raced off as Bambi and the prince ran to warn the other animals. At last, Bambi and the prince struggled across the rushing river. When they were safely on the other side, Feline came running to Bambi. They stood with the other animals on the bank and watched the flames destroy their forest home. "When the forest is green again, I will be very old," said the prince. "Bambi, you must take my place then." Bambi bowed his head. When spring came, green leaves and grass and flowers covered the scars left by the fire. At the thicket, the squirrels and rabbits and birds were peering through the undergrowth as Feline and 2 spotted fawns. And not far away was Bambi, the proud father and the new great prince of the forest. Okay. All right. I hope you liked that story. Let's talk about a few things that we can learn. So, Bambi was a deer, and maybe somebody out there eats deers, and that's okay. That's fine. I don't want you to think that it's bad to eat deers. It's okay to go hunting and to eat deers because it's important that we have food too. The other thing that's important that I want you to remember is the campfires. That is really bad to not take care of your campfire. So if you go camping in the woods and you have a campfire, you want to be really careful and make sure that you don't let it get out of control and burn down the forest, because that's really bad. All the animals lost their home, and it could have been really scary and really bad, and it burns down the trees and stuff. So it's okay if you go hunting, or if your dad hunts or whatever, that's fine. You can still eat the deer, that's fine. But when you go camping, or if you have a campfire, it's really important that you watch it and that you don't let it burn down the forest, okay? That's how you be responsible. All right, I hope that you like Bambi the story. If you can watch the movie, it's a really fun movie too. And I hope that you're having a great day. Bye.